Hello, Trish here from Fat Lady Crochet, and today I want to show you how to make a little turtle, little rainbow turtle. Now I'm going to be using rainbow colors in this size 4 cotton yarn, but it is smaller. I find cotton yarn is smaller than acrylic yarn, but this will work for acrylics as well. And I've got my G hook. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to begin with the tummy, and I'm going to just go ahead and get my green yarn onto my hook, and then I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then into that first chain, I'm going to single crochet 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. For round 2, we're just going to increase around. So we're going to go just increase around. So go from 9 stitches to 18 stitches. So here we go, just increasing around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, 18. For round 3, we're going to increase 9 again, but the way that we'll do that is we'll go single increase, taking us from 18 stitches to 27. So single increase, that's stitch 2 and 3, single increase, that's 5 and 6, single increase, single increase, this is stitch 12, single increase, this is stitch 15. Where is it? Hold on. Yeah, okay. Stitch 15, and then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. And now we're going to do one more round of an increase. We're going to take it up to 36 stitches. So we'll go single, single, increase, single, single, increase. We're going to do that 9 times, taking it from 27 stitches to 36 stitches. So here we go. Single, single, and an increase. 3, 4. Single, single, increase, that is 7, 8, single, single, increase, there's 12, single, single, increase, that's stitch 16, single, single, increase, that is stitch 20, single, single, increase, that's 24, single, single, increase, there is stitch, what is this, 28, single, single, increase, there's 32, let's do one more, single, single, and an increase. So we have 36 stitches on our project here. This is the bottom of the turtle, and let's just do one more round of 36 here. So no increases, just straight up single crochets. Now I should tell you that I write and do my tutorials in US terms, so crochet US terms. I'm not familiar with UK terms, so I apologize if that's what you're used to, but hopefully you're figuring it out. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention too is if you find that you're getting gaps in between your stitches because your tension is loose, or you find it tricky to work with thin yarn, just go ahead and go down a hook size, and that should help prevent those gaps between your stitches, because that's one thing you want to avoid when you're doing amigurumi. You don't want to be able to see too much. I mean, there are going to be times where you can kind of see the fiber fill between the stitches. That could happen, and if it happens in our project, I'm going to show you the way that I sort of deal with that at the end here. So a couple more, and then I'm going to fasten this off. So when I come to the end of this round, I'm going to just join with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to fasten off. I'm going to leave about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches here, just so that I can tuck it in nicely. And then I'm going to set this part aside. All right. So let's move him over there. And now let's work on the shell. So I'm going to do a rainbow shell because I love everything rainbow, but you don't have to. You can do, any color you want, any color combination you want. So I'm just going to show you how to do a rainbow one, and you get to decide if that's what you want to do. So again, I just got my purple onto the hook. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then into that first chain, I'm going to single crochet 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, before I finish, I'm not going to finish this last stitch. So I'll show you what I'm going to do, because I want to change color here. I'm going to change it to blue. So I'm going to finish the last stitch with blue, but I'm going to start it with purple. So I'm going to go ahead and draw up a loop. And now I've got these 2 purple loops on my hook. I'm going to fasten it off and bring in blue. Okay, so I'm going to finish that last single crochet on this round with blue, just like that. And now in the next round, we're going to increase to 18. So again, we're just increasing around into each stitch. We're doing it 9 times, taking us to 18 stitches, just like we did for the tummy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just increasing around. Now, I should mention as well that you'll notice that I'm not doing any joins at the end of the rounds. So that is what we call continuous rounds. So I find it easier, and some people like to have a join at the end of the round. I think it helps eliminate, there's like a little, sort of like a little color jog almost when we change color this way. And I think that when people do add a join at the end of the round, it eliminates some of that. So here now we've come to the end, I'm going to change colors again, but I'm increasing around. So I'm going to do 1 increase, and then now here's where I'm going to change color. So I'm going to insert my hook and draw up a loop. I've got 2 loops on my hook, and that's when I'm going to change color. So I'm going to move to green. I'm going to use this. I don't have very much of this green, but I really love it. So I'm going to use that green because I don't need much of it anyways for this round. So I'm going to just finish that last single crochet of blue. I'm going to finish that with my green now, just like that. And here on round 3, we're going to increase to 27. So we're going to go single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase all the way around, taking us to 27 stitches. So we do that 9 times. So we're going to go single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. That's stitch 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and now here we're at the last stitch of that round. So I'm going to do my 1 single crochet for the increase. I'm going to start my next one, and now I'm going to change colors. And I'm going to finish that guy off with yellow. And this is going to be the last time we increase for the shell. So we're going to increase it from 27 stitches to 36 stitches. So we'll go single, single, increase, single, single, increase. So single, single, and here's our increase. This is stitch 3 and 4. Single, single, increase. That's, what is that? 7 and 8, 9, 10, and increase 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and our last one, 33, 34. I'm going to be changing color here, so I'm going to go 35, and for 36, you know the drill. I'll just fasten her off and change to orange. Now here is where we're just going to single crochet around. So we're not going to be increasing at all here. We're going to do a round of orange just in single crochet, and so that'll be nice and easy. And there are a few little tricks that I'm going to show you once I've finished this shell part. There's a couple things I wanted to show you before we move on. Okay, and I'm going to switch to red now. And again, for our round in red, we're just single crocheting around. So what's going to happen is we're going to start to get kind of this little cup shape. So by not increasing, we are just going to start to build the shell up, the sides of the shell. We're going to kind of turn it into a little dome. Alrighty, so now we've come to the end and I'm going to switch to purple again. So let's just bring in our purple. So I'm starting at the rainbow again. I'm starting at the center of the rainbow again. So let's finish that up and we'll just single crochet 36 around again. Okay, and here we are. We're gonna get our red yarn on now, and we're going to do something a little different with this round. So I'm just going to single crochet into the first one to kind of anchor my red yarn in there. And then I'm just going to grab my tummy and we're going to single crochet them together. So we're going to put them wrong sides facing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook into the first or the next stitch there. And then I'm going to insert it into any one on the tummy. And I'm going to just single crochet these pieces together. So I'm working through the shell and the tummy with red. And I'm just putting 36 stitches around. And then just prior to finishing this is when we'll add the stuffing. And I was just thinking, next time I make one, I think what I'll do is I'll put on 2 rounds of each color, which is going to look really cute as well. And it will just be probably a little bit more bold because I'll have the blocks of color will be, well, they'll be more solid, I guess. I really like this though. I like anything in rainbow, truth be told. So just take your time with this. You want to make sure that you're hitting every stitch. You don't want to be missing a stitch here because then you're going to have a gap when you go to stuff it. Another thing too is a lot of people use stitch markers, and I have never used one. I am constantly counting in my head, but if you find that you like stitch markers, then that's awesome. I mean, go for it. You're probably a more precise crocheter than I am. And I have seen some really cute stitch markers, I must say. People have been making them. I've seen a lot of ones that you guys have created, and they're really super cute. This one is giving me some trouble. There we go. Holy. All right, we're just about ready to stuff this guy. Let's do it now. So we got it on there, and I think that looks, oh, it looks so nice. Okay, let's go ahead and stuff it. I will be right back. I just need to grab my stuffing. All right, so let's go ahead and get some stuffing in here. Now, when you're stuffing an amigurumi, you need to just go slow, put little bits at a time, and shape it as you go. Like, you can't just throw a bunch in and then expect that it's going to look great. You have to kind of go small bits at a time and sort of use your other hand to support the outside to make sure that you don't get too many lumps and bumps in it. And then sort of feel around as you go. See where there's some gaps. See where there's a need for some more. And oh, I can feel kind of a bump right over here. So I'm going to try to get a little piece in there. And I'm not stuffing it too much because I don't want that stuffing to show through my stitches, but I do want it as firm as possible. Oh, I absolutely love how this is looking, I must say. Okay, so cute. All right, let's finish that up now. So we shall close her up. And I'm just going to be really careful when I'm closing it because I don't want to catch that fiber fill in my stitches because it is not easy to get out. So I'm just going to go nice and slow. Just taking care not to get any fibers of the fiber fill in my stitches. And I'm going to just slip stitch into this next stitch here and draw up a loop. And I'm gonna give it about, I don't know, 6 inches there. And again, I know we don't need that many, but what you want to do is have a little bit too much at the end to weave in and out, because otherwise it's going to poke out and it's going to be really annoying. You won't be able to get it back in. So I'm just going to tie this off here and then I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to weave it in and out a few times back and forth just to make sure that that tail stays in. If I cut off my yarn tail too much, say I cut it off like here, say I cut it off, it's this long, I can't, it's not going to weave in, it's not going to stay in, it's going to work its way out, and then I'm going to eventually have this little tail sticking out. So I don't want that. I'm just going to try to drag this in here and hide it. Okay, perfect. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love this shell. All right, so let's do, I'm going to just use my needle to kind of poke it around a little bit and get it into a perfect circle if I can. Okay, really good. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so now what I want to do is I have to do the head and the little legs. So what I'll do is let's do the head together and one leg, and the tail, and then we'll go away. You guys can finish your other leg. So let's do the tail first. We're going to start with a long tail here for our tail, long tail for our tail, because we're going to want to weave that in. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it on here. Tail is super easy. We're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to just work our way back down the chain here. We're going to into the second chain from the hook here. We're going to do a slip stitch. Then we're going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to do a triple crochet. And one more triple crochet. And that's it for the tail. So what'll happen is we'll have like a little triangle that we'll sew on. There's our tail. I'm going to just fasten that off. I'm going to leave, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches there. And I'm going to set that aside. Put it over here. For the head, let's get our yarn onto our hook. And we will chain 2. And into that first chain, we'll single crochet 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9. And now we'll increase around. We'll go to 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, for the next, let's see how long this goes. So let's single crochet into the next 3 rounds, just 18. We're not increasing or decreasing here. We're just going to put on 3 more rounds of 18 and see if that's going to work for our head. Okay, looks good. Looks like we've got a nice little cup here. And we'll just do one more round here and take it down to 12 stitches, which will just sort of bring the cup in a little bit and make it easy, a little bit easier to get on to sew on to the shell. So to do that, we'll go single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease. We do that 6 times. That will take us down to 12 stitches. So single crochet followed by a decrease. That's stitch 2, single crochet, decrease. There's stitch 4, single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease, and let's do one more, single and decrease. Okay, there we go. There's our little turtle's head. All right, let's just make sure that we like how it looks. Yep, I think that's going to be perfect. So I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch here. And then I'm going to fasten this off. I'm going to leave a nice long tail. I've got about 12 inches there. And then let's make one leg together. And then I'll stop recording and we'll go away and finish the last 3. So let's put our yarn on our hook. You know the drill, chain 2. And single crochet 9 into the first chain. And now we're going to single crochet around. We're not going to increase here. I think I made a mistake on that last one. We're not increasing. We're gonna work with our 9 stitches. And so we're just gonna single crochet around and take your time with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I must have missed one here. Yeah, take your time with this. For heaven's sakes, just 1 second here. Now I've lost a few stitches. I don't know what's going on. All right. All right, what's happening here? There we go. There we go. Okay, let me see. I don't know. I think I have to put one more on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And 9. Okay. So we're going to go nice and slow because we're working with quite a small piece now. And we're just going to single crochet around. We're almost making like a little bubble. Okay, so now we're going to do that again. So just put 9 stitches on again. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into that next stitch and fasten off, leaving a nice long chain again, or a nice long tail. And so that is going to be our little foot. So let's pause recording and you go ahead and make 3 more of these little feet, and I'll see you back here and then we'll put it all together. We'll see you in a minute. All right, we have got all of our pieces together. Now what you want to do is grab your tapestry needle and we'll start with the head. Now we're going to put the face on, don't worry, but I always put the face on at the very end. So I'm going to, and we're going to stuff this too, but we're not going to do it quite yet. We're going to get it onto the first part. Also, I wanted to show you, there was something that I wanted to show you and I forgot to show you. You can kind of see here that like where we changed color. And what you can do, and what I forgot to do, was I forgot to tighten these. So what all you have to do when you make these is just pull on the threads and it'll tighten these up, and then you won't have this, it's a little bit noticeable there. So just tighten up those threads and then that'll sort of eliminate that. But this way, at least I know that that's going to be the back. So I'm going to just measure that out and use that sort of as my guide for my head. So let's go ahead and sew this little head on. And you might want to use pins. A lot of people like to use pins to sew their things on, and I don't because I'm lazy. So this is how I do it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I just sew it on. I make sure that I hit each of the stitches on the head, because again, I don't want to have a gap. So I'm just pressing it in, trying to keep it nice and even. And pretty soon I will stuff it. Now I'm just going to make sure that it's where I want it. Yeah, it is. Again, though, guys, like I've been crocheting for a long, long time. I've been making toys for a long time. So maybe I'm making it look easy. Take your time when you're doing these finishing touches, okay? Because you want it to look really good, and you want it to be nice and even. But that's also why we put the face on at the very end, because I have a really hard time doing my face and then putting it on where the face isn't like, half upside down. So now I'm going to just stuff this little head before I finish closing it off. And again, I want it to be nice and firm, but I don't want it to be poking through the stitches. I don't want to be able to see the stuffing. Okay. I'm going to just poke it in a little bit there. Try to get these little stray fibers out of the way, because I really do not want to catch them in the stitching. Nice and tight. Sorry, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'll move my hand a little bit there. Okay, how's that? Does that look good? Yeah, that looks good. Make sure that I don't have any gaps to show. Nope, that's good. And now I'll just tie it off. And then I'm going to hide that yarn. And what I'm actually going to do is poke it in this way, because I have more to work with if I'm poking it into the shell. So you see how I'm kind of weaving it in and out? And that way, that tail is not going to work its way out. All right, and watch this. So you have like that going on. So just use your needle to pull it up and just to even it out again. All right, I can get rid of that. And I don't need that. So now what I will do is I'll put on my tail, because I'm just going to put it on exactly opposite to where I put that little head. So I'm going to get my longer tail of my tail, and there we go. And I'm just going to sew it. Now, do I want it here? Yeah, I'm going to just sew it right on here. Is that where I want it, or do I want it back here? No, I think on the green is good. And I'm just making sure that it's exactly the opposite side of the head. I'm just going to go ahead and sew that on. Now, I did mention some of you guys really hate sewing. I don't mind it. So you're going to find quite a bit of sewing with my patterns. But lots of you guys know how to crochet limbs and tails and heads on as you go. Nancy, you're one of them. And I just think that's awesome. And if you want to learn how to do that, there's probably videos, but I don't know which ones they are, because I don't do that one. All right, I'm going to just tie this in a knot here. And you see how we started with a long tail? Can you see why we did that? That's so we can weave it in, and we won't have to worry about it working its way out. So again, I'm going to weave this in and out a couple times. just to hide it. And I'll just pull it through so we don't have those little dimples, and trim that off. All right, now it's time for the legs. So the legs we are going to put underneath here. Don't think we need to stuff them. And we're just gonna sew them on. I'm gonna pause it while I do this, because we're just gonna sew them on just on the bottom here, just like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I'll see you back here when we've got these little legs on. Oh boy, guys, look at this. How sweet is this little guy? Let's put on a little face. I'm gonna get my black yarn. And this time, oh no, I think I'll still use this one. I was gonna say this time I'm gonna use my pointy tapestry needle, but I'll use my black one. I mean my blunt one. By the way, black yarn, nice long piece, so you have lots to work with. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to poke it right underneath here, because this is where I'm gonna hide my knot. Okay. Oh, sorry, can't see it there. Right in this hole here. Any hole really is going to work. And I'm going to do cheerful eyes. So I'm going to poke it right up at about here. And to do cheerful eyes, I'm just going to do an upside down V. Now I may have to redo this. This happens a few times to me sometimes. Just has to be right. We have to make sure that our little face looks right. So we want it to be even and we want it to be cute. So I'm going to just play around a little bit there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. We'll see how it is. Sometimes I have to redo the faces. And you know what? If you have to, you have to, because the face is really the first thing that people see. So you want it to look really good. Okay, so let's try this. And now I'm going to do the mouth. And the mouth will be a right side up V. Come on, baby. In you go. Yeah, I think that'll do. That will do. Now, while we're talking about eyes, the safest eyes, of course, are going to be ones that are embroidered on, like these. And so if you're making this little guy for a little person, make sure you're embroidering the eyes on. I will often use buttons if my pieces are for people that are older than 3. And the buttons that I use, I always use like a this size thread for it. I don't use sewing thread for it, because I really don't want it to break. I want it to be as secure as possible. So please do make sure that that's, what you're doing. And then as far as safety eyes go, I know a lot of you guys like them and I love how they look, but I have not found any safety eyes that actually work really well. The safety eyes that I've used end up popping out, like they come apart. And I've seen people use like a lighter to kind of melt the plastic on the back, or they'll put like crazy glue or whatever on as well, which is good. Like all of that is good. Do everything that you can to make them secure, or just don't use them at all. Like I don't use them at all. All right, I just want to put on some little cheeks here because I think cheeks always look so cute. So I'm just going to do a straight stitch right underneath this eye. if I can do it. Now, well, if this isn't going to work, we can easily take the cheek out, but I think little cheeks always look so cute. Okay, there's one, and we'll just poke it over here. Oh yeah, I like that cheek, that's good. And right there. I like it. I like it a lot. We're just about done, guys. So I'm just gonna hide that. Should have left those a little longer, but oh well. Oh well. Okay. All right. What do you think? Oh my goodness, I absolutely just love this little fellow. He's so cute. He's really adorable. I'm going to be using, I'm going to have some of these guys for one of my upcoming market tables. And I think he's going to go fast, actually. I think people really love turtles. And I think this little guy's going to go pretty darn fast. So anyways, please do like and share if you enjoyed this video. If you made your own little turtle, I would love to see it. You can send me pictures on my Instagram page or Facebook page. I'll try to remember to put links in the comments below. And also, if you're interested in my written patterns, please head over to Etsy or Ravelry, and that would be just super duper. All right, thanks you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you later.